Leamons, welcome back to another video of mine. So usually, I'd make my gift opening a YouTube short, but this year, I thought I'd do a video while I open all my gifts. Because I got so many gifts, even more than last year, and if I did a short, I just wouldn't get to put all the gifts in a video. And it means so much to me that so many of you guys gifted my trees for Christmas, and even if you didn't gift my trees, I just appreciate the support you all give me by watching my videos. You have no idea just how much it all means to me. So let me just say, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to make videos about Animal Jam and drawing related stuff. I have so much fun creating content for you all. I never just talk to my viewers, in a personal sense. I always discuss topics in Animal Jam, or topics in the art community. In this video, I'll be answering questions I get a lot, or ones from my Instagram. Because I don't know how else to fill the length for this video. So if you don't want to hear me ramble on, then feel free to turn the volume down and just watch me open the gifts. I seriously don't mind at all. Firstly, I'll start the discussion off by answering some questions, as I find I get a lot of the same questions over time, or certain questions I just find interesting. First and most asked question is, are you a furry? No, I'm not a furry. I get asked this a lot, probably due to my channel mascot being an animal. Although, it's an animal from the game Animal Jam. And yes, I do draw a lot of anthro characters, although that doesn't make me a furry. I just enjoy drawing animal characters. That's simply it. Although, with this said, I have nothing wrong with furries. I have a lot of friends who are furries, and I think they are some of the most creative, kind, accepting people out there. As long as you're not one of the weird furries, if you know what I mean, then I don't care. Do what makes you, you. Second question I get asked is, what animal is my channel mascot? The one I use in my sprites. This is also asked a lot, I think mostly by new people on the channel or by people who only watch my drawing videos, as they wouldn't assume I'm a seal with a bow on my head. Instead, a lot of people think I'm a cat or a dog without ears. And it's always funny and interesting to see those comments. But yeah, if you didn't already know, I'm a harp seal, and my mascot is based off Animal Jam. Third question is sort of similar to the last question. It's, why did you choose the seal for your main mascot / what was your inspiration for the outfit? Honestly, going back to 2019 when I first chose my main look as the seal, there wasn't nearly as many animals in the game as there is now, and there wasn't any reptiles, as I love reptiles. Honestly, I probably would have chose a dragon nowadays, if I could. Anyways, the seal was just an animal in the game I instantly loved. Its design, the way it moves, the way it wears items, except for the tail items, I just loved everything about it. And making it all white into a harp seal was just the cutest thing to me. Plus, I love my bow and spikes, so I just had to have it wear my blackout spike and the black ribbon head bow. And honestly, even after all this time, I still love my channel mascot Leamon. Next question is, do you have any pets? Yes, I do have a pet. His name is Bingo, and he's a leopard gecko. This wasn't always the case, though, as I got Bingo as early as March 2022. It took a lot of convincing, as my mom was always a bit afraid of reptiles. And of course, it's not like we could get a dog, cat, bunny, or hamster, or any animal with fur, because my dad, my sister, and I are all allergic to them. I'm going to go on a slight rant and discussion here, because I never get to talk about this. I love animals so much, so growing up not having a pet was so hard for me, and I'd hear about my friends or cousins getting pets, and even see them whenever I'd come over to their houses. It was always a dog or cat or some fuzzy critter of some kind. My allergies were still bad as a kid, but over the years they have worsened, to the point I sometimes get a cold or get sick after being around an animal for too long. And whenever I pet them, or even just in a house with pet dander, I get allergic reactions. My nose gets stuffed up and has that annoying ticklish feeling. My eyes itch. I can feel myself not being able to breathe as well, and in some cases, my skin reacts and gets itchy with rashes. I literally could not have a dog or cat, even though that has always been my dream. Every year for Christmas, as a kid, I remember I'd wish to lose my allergies to animals with fur. I'd be lying in my bed, wishing to lose my allergies to dogs and cats. That's how much I hated my allergies and how much I wanted a pet one day. But that never came true. If anything, my allergies have gone far worse than they were as a kid. And people always like to say, get a hypoallergenic dog or one without as much fur. And I appreciate the ideas, but I'm still very allergic to those kinds of dogs. My uncle has a hypoallergenic dog, and I still get allergic from it. And how much fur on a dog doesn't matter. It's the dander of the dog. I'm extremely allergic to dachshunds, even though they have short fur. So it doesn't matter. Unless I lose my allergies, I won't be able to ever have a dog or a cat, or anything with fur for that matter. But that's why I got a gecko. He may not have the same affection a dog has for its owner, but I still love him very much. He's my little guy, and he's the whole world to me. That ended up being very long, but anyway, next question is, how many fandoms are you in? Someone on my Instagram asked me about this, and I thought it was interesting, because a lot of you know I like Animal Jam, but you don't know some of my other interests. Some of my fandoms or interests other than Animal Jam include Pokemon. I'm like huge on Pokemon. I have all the games and their counterparts starting from the Gen 4 ones and up. I also just like to collect a lot of Pokemon stuff, and I play Pokemon Go. Also, fun fact, Pokemon is what inspired me to draw. I'm also a fan of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I started watching the show back when I was a kid, and it still had seasons coming out, and I never really got bored of it. Plus, I love to see My Little Pony artwork, and follow many artists that create art for it. Other than those two fandoms and Animal Jam, of course, I wouldn't really say there's any other games or shows that I'm obsessed with to the point where I'm in a fandom for it. Although some shows, movies, and games I really like are the Kung Fu Panda movies, the Back to the Future movies, Stranger Things, Bluey, Super Smash Bros., Mario Kart, BoJack Horseman, and Regular Show. I love all of these and will rewatch them or play them regularly. Next question is, do you still create stories about your Animal Jam characters? So, in short note, I haven't really been making stories for Swap these days. But I have been working on a new story for Animal Jam. It's still a work in progress though. I don't even know what to call it yet. I don't want to give too much information about it, as it's still so early on, and I imagine things will change with my ideas over time. I also have been working on a story idea for a non-Animal Jam related project. I just don't share that sort of stuff on here as it's not related to Animal Jam. It's about life being a high schooler, and how everyone is going through different things. Struggles they have to overcome, fears they have, expectations put on them by family or friends, addiction, depression, anxiety. I want to talk about that all in a story, with several characters all trying to navigate through it all. But yeah, other than that and my new Animal Jam story I'm currently working on, I'm not really creating stories for Swap anymore. I made Swap when I was younger and less experienced with writing and even my drawing skills, but my issues mostly lie with the writing, if I'm being honest. I already answered why I've stopped working on Swap in a video of mine, so if you're curious, you can check that video out after this one. Next question is from my Instagram. It's, are you neurodivergent? So, I can't really answer this, as I've never gotten myself diagnosed, and I don't want to say I have something without a diagnosis, as that feels wrong to all the people who have been diagnosed. But my whole life, I've had pretty obvious signs of ADHD. In elementary and middle school, I couldn't focus in class, enough to the point where my grades were all just C+ and C-. The best grade I could cough up at the time was a B, and even that was hard. This made me anxious and upset because I thought I was dumb, when all it really was a lack of focus. I couldn't focus. Even now, I have a hard time listening and paying attention to conversations. I have to really try hard to focus when I'm learning something new. I also interrupt people all the time in conversation, not on purpose, I just can't help it. I have a bad memory with day-to-day tasks, and a bad memory of scheduling. I'd make plans for a certain day with someone, then forget and make plans on the same day with someone else. I had to get a calendar recently just so I could write everything down, because that was the only way I could remember anything. Somehow writing it down helps my brain remember. Plus, not to mention, I have this uncomfortable feeling in my legs that makes me want to move them constantly. I just shake them around and it seems to help me relax more. Now, I'm unsure if these things I'm going to mention next relate to anything, but I'll still bring it up. As a kid, I was very afraid of loud noises, like hearing gunshots in a movie, train whistles, the noises that buses make when they stop, fireworks, anything sudden and loud. I would freak out and scream and cry whenever I knew a loud sound like this was coming. Obviously, I don't do that anymore, but I'm still nervous when I know a loud sound is coming. I still cover my ears in the most subtle way I can. I also over-explain things to the point where it's a bit much. Like, I'm trying to work on this because I'm sure it's annoying to others when I yap in 3 different ways about the same thing, or just say some things I wish I didn't. Like, I'll regret conversations I've had because of my over-explaining. And you may wonder why I haven't gotten myself tested. It's because my whole life, my parents have always put down the idea when I ask them. They think it doesn't matter whether I know or not, because either way I'm still me, and I've gone this far being me. I get what they're saying, but I also wish they would have tested me growing up. It would have been helpful to know, and maybe had an idea why I got such bad grades in school. And I have a different perspective than they do. I am curious to get myself tested. I think knowing could be useful. I think it would help me to know myself better. And maybe I don't have ADHD, but honestly, I think I'd be more shocked to find out I didn't at this point in my life. But yeah, I guess I'm nervous to get tested, like I want to, but I'm scared to. I keep pushing it back, even though it's something I want to do. So again, I can't really answer this question, as I've never been diagnosed, but this question, seeing it was just something I felt the need to discuss. Last question for this video is, how do you become a YouTuber / do you have any advice? Being a YouTuber takes a lot of work, although if you're someone who's passionate, then you'll do just fine. If you start a YouTube channel for something, make sure it's a thing you care about. Otherwise, you'll not be passionate or care about the content you're making, which will result in burnout and feeling like your channel is a chore rather than something fun. For me, I try to keep it interesting by talking about Animal Jam and drawing related topics, 2 things I like to discuss, and it keeps me motivated to make content. Some things to consider are that your channel will not get a ton of exposure right away. It might take time, but if you keep making videos and try to make different things to see what sticks, eventually, I think you should have a chance of success. Another thing is that hate comments will happen, but don't let that stop you from making content. A lot of the time people are jealous or just unhappy with themselves and leave mean comments even if you don't deserve it. So one thing to remember is to not let the hate comments get to you. And also to remember when something is criticism and when something is hate. Because criticism is just fine, and you should allow yourself to take it and help improve on your content. Lastly, I'll give tips for a YouTube channel. It's good to have a YouTube banner and a YouTube profile image to make your channel more unique to you. If you have a channel mascot like I do, I'd use that as your profile image. Next, make sure to create interesting thumbnails for your videos. It can really help, as it's what brings a viewer into a video. You can use fancy softwares like Photoshop, although I just use Media Bang Paint to make mine on, as I prefer making them on my iPad. And Media Bang Paint is a free app for anyone wondering. Finally, make sure to write down notes for a video topic, or write a full script if you're like me and can't just go off notes. This will help your videos seem more structured, and help you from saying and every few sentences. Plus, if you're scared to speak in your videos, but want to, you should speak in your video. Don't let your fears ruin your chance for something amazing. I was scared to speak in my videos, and the first time I was brave enough to post my video with my own voice, it reached a lot of views for me at the time. And ever since then, I've spoken my videos. So don't let your fears stop you. And that leads us to the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching the gift opening and listening to me answer some random questions. Some of these questions made me talk about some deep stuff. Like, I didn't expect that. Another thanks to everyone who left a gift on my trees. I really appreciate it. I haven't really said this anywhere, but after the new year, I'm starting a new program. The program is for a career in pharmacy, and it's called Pharmacy Technician. So, I already know I'll be busy when I start that in January. I just thought I'd let everyone know. I might not be able to post as frequently as I have been, but that doesn't mean I won't be posting at all next year. I will try whenever I find the time. Anyway, that's it. It's been Leamon Puppy. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys all next time.